Isaiah 6. In the year of King Uzziah's death, I saw the Lord seated on high, elevated throne. The hem of his robe filled the temple. Seraphs stood over him. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 wings, they covered their faces. With 2 wings, they covered their feet. And they used the remaining 2 to fly. They called out to one another, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of heaven's armies. His majestic splendor fills the entire earth. The sound of their voices shook the door frames, and the temple was filled with smoke. I said, Woe to me! I am destroyed! My lips are contaminated by sin, and I live among a people whose lips are contaminated by sin. My eyes have seen the King, the Lord of heaven's army. Then one of the seraphs flew toward me. In his hand he had a hot coal. He had taken from the altar with tongs. He touched my mouth with it and said, Look, this coal has touched your lips. Your evil is removed. Your sin is forgiven. I heard the voice of the Lord. Whom will I send? Who will go on our behalf? I answered, Here I am. Send me. He said, Go and tell these people. Social Ant, welcome in. Said, Go and tell my people this. Listen continually, but don't understand. Look continually, but don't perceive. Make the hearts of these people callous. Make their eyes deaf and their ears blind. Their ears deaf and their eyes blind. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes and hear with their ears. Their hearts might understand and they might repent and be healed. I replied, How, Lord? He said, Until cities are in ruins and unpopulated and houses are uninhabited and the land is ruined and devastated and the Lord has sent the people off to a distant place and the very heart of this land is completely abandoned. Even if, if only 1/10 of the people remain in the land, it will again be destroyed. Like one of the large sacred trees or the Asherah poles, when a sacred pillar on a high place is thrown down, that sacred pillar symbolizes this special chosen family. Wow. This is a familiar passage. Struzy Live, yeah, get your raffle tickets in, those who are coming in new. Thank you for the happy anniversary or affiliate anniversary. Thank you. So I'm giving away a ticket to Reach Conference. We're doing Bible like we normally do. So if you're coming in thinking other things will be happening, we're close to the end of our Bible, and then we'll go to other things. But we're going to finish that. So you can get exclamation point raffle, and welcome in, everybody. So we just read through Isaiah 6. If you have thoughts, questions, you can add those now, and we'll dive through what it has. What I was saying is Isaiah 6 is pretty familiar. Passage in the year that King Uzziah died. So we can date when this is. I saw the Lord seated on high, elevated. The hem of his robe filled the temple. Seraphs stood over him. So we're describing a vision of a heavenly host. Okay? Now, don't get caught up in these seraphs have 6 wings. It's talking about function. This is not describing something we're to draw. Okay? It's describing function. Okay? Wings are something that is going to allow you to do something, just like the outstretched hand, the mighty hand that can act. So the wings are something that allows them to act. Each one had 6 wings. 2 wings that covered their faces. So they are hiding from the presence of God. They are covering their faces so they can't be seen, and so they cannot see everything that's going on. With 2, they covered their feet. They're not going anywhere, okay? Their feet are not going to the place where they should go. They're waiting to act. And with 2, they are flying. So they are just being present in God's presence, okay? They're not looking and searching the earth for what to do. They are not using their feet to go and do the things that God is telling them to do. They are in position of waiting. That's what we have here as the metaphor. And they are calling to one another. They're not calling to God. Okay, I mean, God is obviously hearing this. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord, host of heaven's armies, or the Lord of heaven's armies. His majestic splendor fills the entire earth. So, holy, holy, holy. Like, kids, when they're little in English, will want to put very, 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 very happy, and think that by mentioning very, merry, very often, it means something more than being very happy. It doesn't. English doesn't allow that. Happy is happy. Very happy is very happy. It's a degree above it, but very, very happy means nothing. Hebrew, however, think of it this way. Holy is set apart. Okay, that's what holy means, is to be separate and set apart for something distinct, for some reason. We usually think of it as being holier than thou and sacred, and there is an element of it true when we reference to God, but the metaphor is set apart. So when you have a repetition in Hebrew, it is multiply. So we have holy times holy. So holy times holy is 10 holy, not 2 holy. Okay, so it's not a plus. And then we have holy times holy times holy. So holy, holy, holy. It is this exponential growth of holiness that's beyond anything that's comprehensible. That's what we have. So that's what we have in the repetition of the 3 things that are happening of holy, holy, holy. So the angels in heaven, he is seeing a glimpse of heaven, and it is terrifying. Woe to me, I am destroyed. I am a man whose lips are contaminated by sin, and I live among a people whose lips are contaminated by sin. So the things you say are the very contamination, because it comes out of your heart. So what comes out of your mouth comes out of the heart, and you are contaminated by the things that you say. And he's like, I have unclean lips. I can't be in the presence of God and be here. My eyes have seen the King, the Lord of heaven's armies. But then one of the seraphs flew towards me. With his hand was a hot coal he had taken from the altar with tongs. So there's an altar. He's taking a coal. He touches the lips. Now, there's a thought at like, oh, wow, this must have burned his lips because a hot coal would do it. Again, we're metaphor here. We don't have to think physical of this. So it is touching him. The coal is purifying. Okay? You put things in fire to purify them. The coal itself comes and purifies him by it taking and removing the contamination of his lips. And here's a voice that says, whom shall I send? Who will go on my behalf? So look at the cleansing happens first, and then he responds. Like maybe he wouldn't have been able to respond, I will go, send me. The cleansing happens. Now that he is cleaned, he says, I will go, send me. So we had a bunch of pronouncements already. Is this in chronological order? Or did we do a bunch of pronouncements because we wanted to get that out? And now we're getting into the very beginning of when this happened. I mean, you have to do chronology, go back and read here's what he said during all these kings. Now we got the year King Uzziah died. That's what's happening. Go tell the people this. So listen continually, but don't understand. Look continually, but don't perceive. Make the hearts of those people callous. Make the eyes of the deaf and the ears blind. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes and hear with their ears. Their hearts might understand, and they might repent and be healed. Okay, I'm gonna say something that maybe you've never thought about before. Isn't this Jonah's prayer? Isn't this Jonah's problem? Jonah doesn't want to give the message to the people of Nineveh because they will hear with their ears and they will turn and change. They will make their hearts not callous, and their eyes will be open, and they will turn and repent, and they will be healed. That's what Jonah didn't want. And now God has taken the path that Jonah has taken and said, no, I don't want the people to be healed. I don't want them. I am going to punish them for what they've done. So Isaiah, you're going to speak. They're not going to listen. I'm telling you up front, I'm not going to let them hear and repent. And he's like, well, how long is this going to happen? And then he tells them, until everything is utterly destroyed. Everything is utterly destroyed, and they're going to be taken away. The sacred pillar symbolizes the special chosen family. So the people of God are going into destruction until it's fully happened. And if there's 10% left, I'm not done. I'm not done when there's 10%. It's going to be such a small remnant. It's going to be total, utter disaster. All right.